Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, joining us are our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. I'm excited to welcome Perez Hilton to our program today. He's making his first appearance on our platform to talk not only about his success and as a media personality, but also what's been like for him to build his brand as well. You guys probably remember his book I talked to you guys about, TMI, My Life in Scandal, but he also has his own popular podcast as well. We're going to talk to him about that, as well as what it's been like for him to see the success of My True 10 CBD gummies as well. If you guys are not staying connected with the updates on Perez, we'll let you know where to find him. Perez, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Perez, this is, I'd have to say, an honor to be able to have you on. I've been following your career for quite some time, and you have had such a impact on the entertainment industry. I want to talk to you about that. What has that been like for you to see how you've not only been able to have the success you've had, Perez, but also the impact on the world that you've been able to have?
I mean, I'm just grateful that 18 years later, I've managed to still stick around. I was the original influencer before that word even existed. And most influencers, it's wild because, the only certain thing in life is change. Every single day we're different from the day before. We're a day older. We're hopefully wiser. Change, death, and taxes. It's like the only certainties in life. And especially in the world of social media and the internet, it's constantly changing and a new thing will happen or a new functionality or this will go away or whatever it might be. But one of the things that has changed the most drastically is the shelf life of an influencer has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter. Now you're lucky if you're, quote, hot for 2 years, 3 years maybe, and I'm into my 18th year. So I'm just so grateful that I've developed a loyal following that still reads my website, that listens to my podcast or watches it on YouTube, that follows me across social media, and that, I'm also objective and honest about myself. Like, I'm not an it girl anymore. I'm not hot like I used to be. I'm not as relevant as I used to be. But I'm able to provide for my family, and that's what matters most to me, that I'm able to pay my bills and still enjoy what I do for a living. So every morning I wake up with gratitude and a smile, even if I'm really tired because I work so hard, but just really thankful.
Perez, and I appreciate that, and the honesty definitely comes out in the book, TMI, My Life in Scandal. The thing that really struck me, and it's interesting the way you bookend the book, because you talk about your own beginnings and your own relationship with your family, and then to end the book talking about the impact you're able to have now on your own family, and you talk about the work. What is it that keeps it fun for you? Because you talked about that. You work so hard, but you love what you do. What is it that has kept you happy with the work after all these years?
I, in a way, relate to Kim Kardashian. She's spoken out recently in interviews about how when she was growing up, she dreamed about being famous. And she's also mentioned how not everybody is cut out for that. I feel that way too. Growing up, I fantasized about being famous, and I now am infamous, different than Kim Kardashian, and definitely not everybody is cut out for infamy. It takes a very strong person to deal with infamy and to not really care about all of the hate and negative opinions that are directed my way. And I think what helps me not care about it is the fact that I do have a very sacred personal life with my family, with my mother who lives with me and my 3 children who just know me as dad. And they're aware of what I do for a living, but they're clearly, not having total understanding of my past and everything that I do currently still. But yeah, you know, I love that I get to still do really fun things. Like in March of this year, a few months ago, I did a Christmas movie that'll come out this holiday season, and it's really flattering that I still get called weekly to appear in this TV show as a talking head. Last week I did the Daily Mail TV show. The week before that, I did a TV show in Spanish asking me for my opinion on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. You know, so it's nice to still be asked to do things, and I still just love sharing and communicating with people.
And the brand continues to grow, Perez. I mentioned in my introduction, not only do you have, of course, the podcast, the Perez Hilton podcast with Chris Booker, but also My True 10. Talk to us about that and what it's been like for you to see the response to the CBD gummies.
You know, everything that I've done has been very organic. I never went to school for business. I'm not that kind of person. I've never sat down and written a 5-year plan or whatever it is. You know, 2020 hit me really hard, like it did probably for most people, I would say, and I discovered CBD then. But not all CBD is created equal, and, you know, a really funny story how it happened. I was struggling, and I was CBD curious. I had never really tried it prior to 2020. So I put up a story on my Instagram, and I said, hey, if anybody wants to send me some CBD, please do, because I'm cheap. And I had all these people send me tons of CBD. And CBD, unfortunately, is not regulated by the FDA. So some of it is really good, and some of it is not really good, and it doesn't work. And then I found this one that blew all the others away, and I was so moved by it. I'm like, wow, this one really works. I reached out to them, and I said, let's partner, create a new brand together, and get this to the masses, because this really helps me, and it can help other people as well. So if people check us out, go to mytrue10.com. It can help you in so many ways, our gummies and muscle relief gels. And if you're CBD curious but still skeptical, at mytrue10.com, we will give you a money-back guarantee. So if you don't like our products for whatever reason, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked.
Well, Perez, we're so glad that you could take out the time to be with us today. We so appreciate the work you've been able to do. Make sure you guys are staying connected with PerezHilton.com, as well as you just heard him say at mytrue10.com. And don't forget the podcast as well, the Perez Hilton Podcast with Chris Booker. Perez, continued successes to you, and looking forward to speaking with you again on the program.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.